Can you tell us how many parking spaces will be added, or is that part of the development plan item, which, okay.
Yeah.
We can address it now. It's up to the
I apologize.
council commission. It'll be, the net add will be approximately 86 spaces.
How many do we have currently?
Ooh, do we have that on the development plan? I'm sorry, I don't have that data here.
It was listed, hold it. You mean the total parking or just for that south parking lot?
He was asking for the total on the
Yeah,
campus.
I don't have that either. Yeah, well, no.
Make a motion to approve. Second.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Mr. Harwell.
Yes.
Mr. Armstead.
Yes.
Mr. Wilson.
Yes.
Ms. Andrus.
Yes.
Mr. Broadhead.
Yes.
And Mr. Roberts.
Yes. Okay, so your resurvey has passed. All right. The next case is AD 23-01-03, also relating to the property at Homewood High School. This is the application for an amended development plan. I think you've already covered this to a certain degree, but there are obviously different aspects to this. If you could just state your case for us, please.
Sure. Again, Curtis Eatman. And so the part of the amended development plan is to take this parcel that was just resurveyed into the overall property and basically reconfigure and add parking to the 3 tiers of parking there on the south side of the high school campus. We're impacting approximately 181 spaces, doing some reconfiguration. And again, as I mentioned previously, the net add here will be 86 spaces. Along with this, we'll provide new landscape islands, underground detention to manage our stormwater as it comes off the parking before it goes to the creek. And there is an agreement in place, a lease agreement between the Homewood Board of Education and Samford University. As you can see on the upper left part of the page, a portion of this new parking lot actually falls on property owned by Samford University. And so the school board and Samford have come to a long-term lease agreement for that portion of the impacted property. And so I'd be glad to answer any questions that you may have on this as well.
Okay, well, we have to technically open it back up to the public, so we'll close the, we'll open the public portion of the hearing. If anybody wants to speak to this case, come forward now, please. And seeing no one, we'll close the public portion and open it up for questions.
Just had one thing I wanted to clarify for our record. The Board of Education has had this piece of property for some number of years, right? So
Yes, sir. It was gifted to the Board of Education, and it previously lived in the city of Vestavia. It was de-annexed from Vestavia, but was kind of in limbo, and it was never annexed by the city. So as we started this process, we started uncovering this issue, which is why we've been through the annexation process prior to coming here tonight.
which in my view is because we didn't have a need for it, there wasn't a need to do anything with it until now.
That's correct.
It's not that we have now rushed through something, it's that we now have a need for something the Board of Education has had for some number of years and have proceeded through it.
That's correct.
Thank you.
If you tell us a little bit more about, and I've seen on your drawings, the underground water detention plan you have.
Yes, sir. We have 2 different underground detention systems, which are basically large pipe systems. And they're designed to, when in a rainfall event, when you get a heavy rain, as you see, like we have a lot of above ground ponds around the area. Basically, they fill up and then they slowly release that water out to mimic the pre-development hydrology of the site. So what we've done is we've broken that up to match the existing drainage basins. The one on the right The drawing's a little distorted, but they're basically two pipe systems that come through the site and two major drainage areas. So we basically split that up to try to mimic the natural hydrology as much as possible.
Okay. To your knowledge, does existing parking have any similar type of detention?
Not to my knowledge,
Okay,
no,
so
sir. It was all built prior to that being a typical requirement.
Okay.
You mentioned there was 86 net new spaces.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, but I noticed that there's still a lot of available land, even though you got some topo challenges.
It is extremely steep. We're already having to build retaining walls almost all the way around this development and to terrace it down. I don't want to say it could never be developed, but it would be more than challenging.
Yeah, it's almost, if you're already doing it, might as well, can you extend it even further and pick up more spaces?
I think we've pushed the limit about as far as is feasible at this time. There's also a Jefferson County sewer easement that runs through there that you don't see, so if you went much further, we would.
Because when I asked the students, they said 86, it should be 186, or 860.
We would love to design it as that.
Figure out exactly how more you can get.
Well, I know there was a discussion at one point in time of a garage or multi-level.
That's right. That's been discussed, but I don't think that's ever gained a lot of traction.
Is there an estimate of cost for adding these 86?
I have one. I don't have that figure here in front of me. But it is significantly less per space than a parking garage would be.
Oh, yeah. What is your time frame for starting construction and ending it? What's your
We
timeframe?
will plan to start construction in March is our goal. And then just as soon as we can get done, our goal is to be done before school
School
starts for the fall semester.
Well, currently the 10th grade or 9th graders are not allowed to park on campus. Will this change that?
I can't really speak to how they're gonna manage the parking. I do know this is built in anticipation of increased enrollment in future years as part of the reason. But I'm not able to speak to how they're gonna actually manage and allow parking.
That's a big class is coming.
That's right.
Yeah, if there are no more questions, I'll entertain a motion.
Motion to approve? Second.
All right. Okay, all right. Mr. Harwell,
Yes.
Mr. Armstead,
Yes.
Mr. Wilson.
Yes.
Ms. Andress,
Yes.
Mr. Broadhead,
Yes.
and Mr. Roberts.
Yes, so your amended development plan has been approved.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you. We have any communications from the staff before I ask for a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Yeah. No. No.
So no, I take it there's
None that I'm
none.
aware of.
All right, so all in favor of adjourning?
Aye.
All opposed?